material. So welcome everyone to class 64, Biblical Foundation, Genesis, the Book of Beginnings. And we are finishing up with Genesis chapter 13 and starting with Genesis chapter 14. So we're going to review, first of all, the separation of Abram and Lot. And so our famous Bible verse reader, Lucas, can you kindly read Genesis 13, verses 8 and 9? Genesis chapter 13, 8 and 9.
And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be so strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, and I will go to the left.
Beautifully pronounced. Thank you, Lucas. So let me try that in Portuguese. E disse Abrão a Ló, ora, não haja contenda entre mim e ti, e entre os meus pastores e os teus pastores, porque somos irmãos. Não está toda a terra diante de ti. Eia, pois, aparta-te de mim. E se escolheres a esquerda, irei para a direita. E se a direita escolheres, eu irei para a esquerda.
Okay.
Okay, so Pedro, can you kindly read question 1?
Okay. Did Aaron act selfishly in his suggestion to his nephew Lot?
Nephew, very good. So what do you think? Did that sound like Abram, who's older, more senior? He acted selfishly?
No.
Yeah, just the contrary. And why? Why do we know that? What did he offer his nephew?
He offered the land that he would want.
Exactly. And does that mean that he offered him the best land?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He said, Lot, it's your choice. You take the best land. And so let's go ahead. And Adina, can you kindly read Genesis 13, 10 to 11 in English?
And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest in unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other.
Very well pronounced. Thank you. And look at that, how the Bible, even in anticipation, tells us here in this area, in the plain of Jordan, it's before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's already forecasting. It's already letting, yes, this is the place that will be destroyed, but it's telling us this long before it happened. Interesting. Okay, so let me try that in Portuguese. E levantou os seus olhos e viu toda a campina do Jordão, que era toda bem regada antes do Senhor ter destruído Sodoma e Gomorra. E era como o jardim do Senhor, como a terra do Egito, quando se entra em Zoar. All right, so let's go. Lucas, can you kindly read question 2 in English? Pedro, did you want to say something?
I think you might be verse 11.
Yes? Oh, I missed that. Sorry, I only gave you 10. Thank you. Então, Ló escolheu para si toda a campina do Jordão e partiu Ló para o Oriente e apartaram-se do outro. Thank you. You're paying close attention. I appreciate it.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so Lucas, give us question 2 in English, please.
What were the advantages and disadvantages of the land Lot chose?
Very good. Okay, so those that's a long word. So advantages, and it's almost all evil. No, level. No emphasis. So advantages and disadvantages. That's a lot of vowels, a lot of consonants. Okay, so Pedro, can you kindly read Genesis 13, 12 to 13 in Portuguese? I mean, in English.
Okay. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
Okay, listen to that. Wow. Okay, let me try this in Portuguese. Habitou Abrão na terra de Canaã, e Ló habitou nas cidades da campina, e armou as suas tendas até Sodoma. Ora, eram maus os homens de Sodoma, e grandes pecadores contra o Senhor. Oh, no surprise there. Okay, so and Andina, can you kindly read question 3 in English?
Question 3. What was the principal sin of Sodom?
Okay, so what do you think? What do we remember?
Homosexuality.
Yep, absolutely right.
They were violent, also very violent.
Wicked and sinners before the Lord. Okay, so I don't see Lucas, but Pedro, would you like to go ahead and read Genesis 13, 14 to 15, please?
Okay. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him. Oh, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward and southward, and eastward and westward, for all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
Very well pronounced. Thank you. So in Portuguese, I think it goes like this. E disse o Senhor a Abrão, depois que Ló se apartou dele, levanta agora os teus olhos e olha desde o lugar onde estás, para o lado do norte, o do sul, e do oriente, e do ocidente, porque todo este terra que vês, te hei a dar a ti e a tua descendência para sempre. Wow. How amazing. And Andina, can you kindly read question 4?
What kind of covenant did the Lord make with Abram?
Okay, so remember we've studied covenants before, and there's various types of covenants.
Yes. It's an unconditional
Okay.
covenant, isn't it?
Yep,
Right?
it absolutely is. And there's one more characteristic we can add. Is it
Mm.
it's unconditional,
And forever, it's
ex
eternal.
permanent, exactly right. Exactly. Okay, so it's not a temporary one, it's not conditional, it's not in a certain time period, it says forever.
Forever. Yeah.
So amazing. Oh, we lost Lucas, who was there for a minute. So, oh, there he is. Okay, just in time. Okay, Lucas, you're back in the saddle. Okay, can you read Genesis 13, 16 to 17, please?
And I will make thy seed in the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee.
Very good. So just a suggestion that in the second line, numbered. I think what I said, numbered. So numbered. You almost don't pronounce that last E. So past tense is like that in English. Okay, so let me try that in Portuguese. E farei a tua descendência como o pó da terra, de maneira que se alguém puder contar o pó da terra, também a tua descendência será contada. Levanta-te, percorre essa terra no seu comprimento e na sua largura, porque a ti a darei. Wow. Okay, so Lucas, and so Pedro, can you kindly read question 5 in English?
Can one count the dust of the earth or the seed of Abram?
What do you think?
No one.
Yeah, that's kind of tough to count the dust of the earth, okay, or the seed of Abram. So let's think of that. But how can the seed of Abram be as abundant as the dust of the earth? Well, the next verse, the mystery verse, XX chapter 3, verses 6 to 7, gives us an idea. So, Anandina, can you kindly read that mystery verse for us in English?
Hmm. I think I don't have it here.
So it's just after question 5. Did it not print out?
No, I don't have a printer here. I
No
copied.
problem. Oh, no. Oh, you're in Recife, of course. So,
Yeah,
in,
so
in your,
I may have missed it.
okay. So it's in your email, but it's hard for you to see on your cell phone.
Oh, yes, that's why I copied.
I hear you. Okay. So let's get our famous Bible verse reader, Pedro. Lucas, can you kindly read that mystery verse?
Even as Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham.
Abraham. Very good. So it's a tough, on the first line, it's a long, tough word, righteousness. And I want to give a good definition of what righteousness means. And it's right in the eyes of the Lord. Okay, so think of righteousness as right in the eyes of the Lord.
Can we say justice?
Yes, but justice, as we know, is or justified, because the idea here is
Oh, it's an
it's a
adjective.
religious
Oh,
term. And
yeah.
so whereas
Righteous.
justice is a broad term that can have a worldly connotation, but righteousness is strictly a God word.
Okay.
Okay, which is great. So
For now.
right in the eyes of the Lord. So now the important question, what is the mystery book? Okay,
This I don't know.
okay.
This I've not seen a smile.
Okay, Lucas, any idea? Any guess?
No.
Okay,
Maybe if you read in Portuguese.
okay, excellent. So let me try that now. Excellent idea. 367. Assim como Abraão creu em Deus, e isso lhe foi imputado como justiça. Sabei, pois, que os que são da fé são filhos de Abraão. Do you know, Anandina? Do you have an idea?
Roman? I'm not
Well,
sure.
it could be, but it's
Or
in
Hebrews.
one of Apostle Paul's epistles, but it's
Yeah,
in Galatians.
Galatians.
Okay, Galatians. And so then let's go to question 6, because that answers why I added that verse. Okay, so Lucas, can you kindly read question 6 in English?
How does this verse help explain the quantity of Abram's seed?
Okay, well read. So remember, our question is, well, we know that the dust of the earth is uncountable. God knows, but for human beings, impossible to count. And so how on earth can Abraham's descendants or seed be as many? What does this verse tell us?
All that we believe in God.
Are who are what?
Or also the descendants.
Exactly. Okay. So it says there at the very end of the verse, therefore they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. Okay, so all saved people, all right, under the Old Testament times and under the New Testament, this verse is telling us they're all the children of Abraham. So it's not just physical seed, it's also spiritual seed.
Spiritual seed.
Okay,
Yes.
so praise the Lord. The number of people eventually who are in heaven with us are uncountable. Okay, it's a huge amount. Praise the Lord.
Glory to God.
How grace filled is He to allow so many of us former sinners into His presence forever. Okay, so Pedro, can you kindly read Genesis 13:18?
Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord.
Very well pronounced, thank you. Em português, Abrão mudou as suas tendas e foi e habitou nas carvalhas de Mamre e estão junto a Hebron e edificou ali altar ao Senhor.
Have a suggestion.
Please.
It is Carvalhais.
Carvalhais.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I think I was thinking
E
of
altar.
horses.
Altar.
Altar.
Altar. Altar.
Okay. So the emphasis is on the beginning. Altar.
No, in the end. Altar.
Okay, altar. Thank you.
Good.
Excellent. So, Inandina, can you kindly read question 7?
Question 7.
Yes. Can you see that?
Okay. What appears to be Abram's enduring characteristics? He builds altars wherever he
Agreed.
goes.
He does, doesn't he?
Okay, he
Fantastic.
adores the Lord, so he's a worshiper.
Absolutely. Good, good, good. So not only does he build altars, what's important is that by building an altar, he is honoring and worshiping the
The
Lord.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very good response. Okay, so let's go to some new material, the study of the post-separation of Abram and Lot. And so, Lucas, we're back to our famous Bible verse reader. Lucas, can you read Genesis chapter 14, the first and second verse with some difficult words in this, some difficult place names? Go for it, Lucas.
And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arad, king of Elazar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Ber, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar.
Beautifully read, Lucas. Amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, all those difficult Hebrew names slightly changed in English,
Yeah.
transliterated in English. The third word, I think you said come, and it should be, and it came to pass.
And it came to pass.
Okay. And there's only one word, I'm not sure, but I think when it says King of Elam and then title, King of Nations, I think. I think you said title, but I'm not sure. My guess is it's title, like the tides of the ocean. But very well pronounced. Okay, now hopefully in Portuguese I can do half as well. E aconteceu nos dias de Anrafel, rei de Sinar, Arioque, rei de Elassar, Kedorlaomer, rei de Elam, e Tidal, rei de Goim, que estas fizeram guerra a Bera, rei de Sodoma, e Birsa, rei de Gomorra, e a Sinabe, rei de Admah, e a Semember, rei de Zeubim, e o rei de Belá, esta é Zoar.
Yeah. Great pronunciation.
Okay. Phew. Wow. They like to challenge us with Hebrew words. Okay, so Pedro, can you kindly read question A in English?
The 5 cities of the plain of verse 2 were thought by critics to be fictional until what type of evidence was found.
Okay, so I'm not asking you to know this historic, like, detail, but rather the critics for many, many years, they try to find reasons why we cannot believe the Bible. And what kind of evidence do you think might have been found which proved the critics were wrong the whole time?
Maybe some excavations.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And so the excavation is where it came from. So, but what kind of evidence? What would be the adjective to use for that? So, what comes from excavations?
What comes from? Well, the objects and
Yeah, yeah,
utensils and
yeah.
is
I
that it?
agree. Tablets, stones, statues.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
But in general, what is that called? When you dig up old stone objects and you go, look what I found.
I know what you mean, but I can't remember the word.
Pedro, can you think, Pedro, what's the general name for this? It's almost a science.
It's like archaeology.
Absolutely right.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Archaeology.
Okay, well remembered, Pedro. So just to let you know, in 1964, in North Syria, they found stone tablets or some evidence in which all 5 cities of the plain are mentioned exactly as they are written in this verse. Okay? And remember one thing, a book of history, in this case, that was written or transcribed by Moses. What is it? 3,000 years ago, all right, when Moses lived, to have the words are exactly correct. All right, that evidence
Excuse
was
me?
found.
Can,
Sorry.
can you repeat the question?
Well, it's not a question, it's more a point.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's a point, and that is it's amazing that the Bible recites many, many names of countries, of kings, and the names
yes.
are exactly correct. Okay, so that when archaeological evidence is found, they go, there we go again. The Bible is perfect. And
And each
any
day they are discovering new
more
things.
and more, exactly.
More and more. Yes,
Okay.
more and more.
Go ahead,
I've
Andy.
read an article saying that they had found the chariots of the Egyptians at the bottom of the Red Sea. I don't
Wow.
know if
Yeah.
this is true,
Uh-huh.
but there were some pictures. I think it's true.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, we are not surprised because we know that the book of Genesis is history.
Yes.
Okay, it's not allegory. It's not a
No.
nice fable or myth or tale. So, but just to remind you, many other histories written by ancient Greeks, written by ancient Romans, writing history that was a century, 2 centuries, 3 centuries before, they changed the names. They're not accurate. They get it more or less. All right, so that modern historians go, yeah, I think I agree that Josephus, a Jewish historian, when he wrote this, that it's written a little bit differently from the original word. That's natural. Okay,
Yeah.
so human historians, 2 or 3 or 4, much less. So that they get it almost right, but not 100%. The Bible is 100% right. Yet more evidence that it is supernatural. Okay, that it was
Oh,
written by
yes. Glory to
God.
God.
Okay, so Anandina, can you kindly read Genesis 14, verse 5?
And in the 14th year came Kedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and he smote the Rephaims in Asteroth Karnaim, and the Zuzims in Ham, and the Emins in Shaveh Kiriataim.
Amazing. Excellent pronunciation. I think Anandina has been taking Old Testament classes for many years.
I sometimes listen to preachers in English
Well,
sometimes,
that
and
was that was just
some
amazing.
of these names I have already listened to them.
Okay, but you remembered it very well. So excellent job. All right, so let me try that in
Okay.
Portuguese. E ao 14º ano veio Kedorlaomer e os reis que estavam com ele, esse está certo? Yeah.
Yeah.
A doesn't look right in the fifth. I think I got the wrong verse here.
No,
It's
it's
14.
okay.
It is?
This is the
Okay.
one.
Ah, ok. 14º ano, isso mesmo. Os reis que estavam com ele e feriram os reféns em Asterote, Carnaim, e os Zuzins em An, e aos Emins em Save, Kiritiaim. Wow. Any suggestions?
I have a suggestion, a little suggestion. In the almost the middle of the verse, it is Rephaim.
Hephaims. Thank
Fine.
you. Thank you. Separating the A and the I. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of Hephaims, let's go to the next question, which is Lucas, can you read question B in English?
What kind of people were the Rephaim?
Okay, thank you. All right, does anyone remember?
I don't.
They were giants.
Absolutely right, Pedro. Excellent
They were
memory.
what?
Giants.
Giants. Oh,
Yes. And like, wow, wait a second. All
Pedro, you are fantastic.
yeah, right. And so all of a sudden, here we are in chapter 14, and it's just like giving a list of things. And oh, what do you know? Here pops up a race of giants. Okay, so Pedro, can you kindly read question C in English?
How could this happen post-flood?
Yeah, I thought that one reason that God flooded the entire earth was to kill all of the giants. And not just the giant, yeah, any of unfortunately the genetically modified creations that somehow fallen angels were able to create with earth women, with animals. Okay, so there were many giant genes throughout the human population. So how could this happen? It says there's giants again. How could it happen? Any ideas?
Mm. For these atoms, I have many little ideas.
Okay, well, tell us. What do you
So,
think?
I don't know. I
None of us do because it's not absolutely clear. The Bible doesn't give us a definite answer. So what do you think?
I think that were a gene like this that stayed in the humanity.
But how? So are you saying that Noah and his family, that one of them had a giant gene?
I'm not sure, but I think so.
Okay. Any
Uh,
other opinions or thoughts?
I think it was some kind of genetic mutation.
Okay. And true, but how might that happen? And where might that have happened?
Well, I don't know. This is just an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I think they're all
As
good
time
ideas.
as time passed by,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, two things. Pedro, just to challenge you, we want to remember that God said Noah was perfect in his generations. And that implies that somehow he was pure, I think. And so my guess is it's unlikely if if Noah was perfect in his generations, which gives the idea that he was pure, his wife, I guess, must have been pure, and the children were pure, and the in-laws were pure. So it sounds like, but it doesn't say, that the in-laws were also pure. So it's still possible that a giant gene came in through the in-laws, right? Who married Noah's son or daughter might have had a giant gene. Okay, I think that's possible, still reading the verses as they are. What happened? What major event had happened from the flood until now? Okay, so Abram being called out of his home in the Ur of Chaldees to a promised land. What major event already happened before this?
Before.
Okay, so
Before he,
between the flood and between Abram.
oh,
I don't know.
the tower,
Absolutely right.
oh,
The Tower of Babel.
the
Okay,
tower of Babel.
so let's think. Remember, the Tower of Babel, what it was constructed to go up into the heavens. That was their intention, right? And so if we're talking about strange occurrences, genetic modification, it's possible, all right? Remember, so that they built this temple to go high up in, and what did they do on high places? They worship the devil, right? Often. So high places do not have a good reputation in the Bible, and maybe somehow there were genetic mutations happening there. Okay, that's one possibility. Another possibility is that somehow there were further demonic eruptions. And what do I mean by that? If we believe that fallen angels came down to the earth, they mated, they married earth women, and they created the giants. And that's one kind of demonic eruption. A lot of those giants, their bodies were killed in the flood, but were their spirits killed? No. Okay, so what we call demons today, many of those demons are the spirits of those many, many killed in the flood. Okay, so Satan has a vast army of demons, spiritual beings. And so we don't know how, but somehow those demons, through genetic modification, through something or another, they were able, remember, demons can inhabit bodies. They inhabit pigs. We know that Jesus, right, when he exorcised a man and asked what his name is, the man said, "My name is Legion." And he had 3,000, and there were 3,000 spirits because they left him and they entered 3,000 different pigs. So spirits like to inhabit bodies. So somehow the spirits were able to inhabit more bodies, and those bodies then mated and had children. We don't know, okay? But somehow the giants physically returned into the human race. So all of those are good possibilities, okay? So well thought. And again, it's not clear in the Bible, so we're just, using our reason. Remember, Isaiah in 1:18 is told, "Let us reason together." This is God talking to Isaiah. God says, "Let's reason, you and me, Isaiah." And he also tells us we need to reason. So we have we have some wisdom through reading the Bible again and again and again and again. And we can use some of that reason to think of possibilities. But we'll know, and the answer will be in heaven. Okay, so let's finish up. So that was Pedro. So Erendina, can you have the honor of finishing this with up by giving us Genesis? Oops, I didn't put the chapter 14, verses 10 and 12, please.
Genesis 10:12.
No, I forgot to put the chapter in. So it's Genesis 14, verse 10 and 12.
Okay. And the valley of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there. And they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed.
Excellent. I love the King James Bible and in its English. Look at that word full of slime pits. Even the name itself, slime. All right, slime is like this horrible, dirty substance. Like and so a slime pit. Okay, a place that's filled with it. Okay, so let me try this in Portuguese. E o vale de Sidim estava cheio de poços de betume. E
Betume.
Obrigado. E fugiram os reis de Sodoma e Gomorra e caíram ali. E os restantes fugiram para monte. 12. Também tomaram a Ló, que habitava em Sodoma, filho de irmão de Abrão, e os seus bens, e foram-se. Okay, so we don't even.
Beautifully pronounced.
Thank you. I have very good teachers, including the Holy Spirit helps me with frequency. So we have no questions on this verse, but this is just to move the narrative forward that we'll pick up next time. So in other words, Lot is taken and is a prisoner. All right, so excellent. So any questions or comments in English?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then we're going to stop the recording. Thank you for watching.